the other day, DK, they ran a wisp
10 seconds
and a Venge
remaining.
support, and the Venge started out with boots. They were just roaming around with the tether at the start of the
5
game,
seconds
and
remaining.
smoking up and getting
Okay.
kills.
I didn't catch that one, so...
Yeah, that was quite like something new. Never seen anyone do it
Radiant's
before.
team pick.
It's a lot of
Possible.
investment starting a boots on the support and smoke, and
Yeah.
if you don't get the gank off, it's gonna be really bad.
Oh yeah.
I
That's
think-
exactly what the two teams have in mind here.
I don't think that would be what Dreamtime does though. With the Sanking it's a lot harder, I would say, compared to Venge.
Yep. As it stands, DK have one more pick coming their way. Possibly a
10
farming
seconds
Mirana,
remaining.
I would say. This is where...
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's kind of a
it's-
black hero. Do you remember the old days where
Yeah.
he played a lot of Mirana?
Reserve time.
Carry
he
position
did,
Mirana.
he did play quite a bit of Mirana. But it's one of those things where you kind of almost need to coordinate with your team, at least to some extent. Like when you're setting up for an arrow, but... It's one of those things, like, sure, these players maybe can't commute, but at the end of the day, they all play during all good nights. Opening exactly they should be going for, like... Yeah, it's one of these where...
Go black.
Go black indeed. I prefer even on voice chat with him. Like, sure, this is a fairly important tournament matter.
Do you know if he's at the house, at the training house?
I don't know. Is there a training house in the same place?
I'm not
GG.
sure, sorry.
Dire team pick.
Asking if he's present at the house.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would suggest no, but maybe he is. Well, the way LGD made a post on their little Chinese internet, like beating it like more than just like a day's match. Like he's standing for like 2 or 3 days while black get healthy. So he's just on the gas for those 2 or 3
10
days.
seconds remaining.
Definitely possible.
So with the
Who
shadow,
knows?
with the shadow
5
flame
seconds
pickup,
remaining.
it might actually mean that they might want to go aggressive pilot. I don't know, maybe. Spectre again. Oh, yesterday he didn't really build a Radiance when he actually could have. He went into a Vanguard and Diffuser bit, and LD and me myself, we don't really like the build. Like, I feel like the Radiance build is always like the strongest build. And he wasn't even struggling at the start. He wasn't even struggling at the start.
If you go Vanguard, you always Vanguard into Radiant build as well. Like with Fusel, it's normally like his runs Fuse type thing.
And usually you go for that build, it's either of 2 reasons. You're not having a good time, you need to buy cheaper items, or you just want to be aggressive earlier.
Yeah, like going Vanguard is all about just playing like getting very defensive so you can farm up your Radiance like for later on. So
getting yourself ready for that.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with
5 seconds remaining.
not supporting the Vanguard Diffusal build, but we want Dreamtime to come up with either Spectre Wisp. They've got a lot of like just like global ganking potential. Spectre can pop the ulti, he can want in. You've got Wisps one, you can relocate in. That's really something fairly troublesome to deal with. Like Batrider can just go around the map on his own looking for kills and potentially have 3 heroes to back him up. So he's always got the potential for the backup there with this global lineup.
They are actually not gonna go for the aggressive tri-lane. They're gonna leave Ice at top alone. So it'll be like a defensive tri-lane with a Mirana against the Sanking Spectre and a Wisp. Safe lane.
Introduce our 2 teams here. It's our second match of today. DK versus Dreamtime. We'll see Dreamtime playing on the Dire side, Super playing on the Wisp, XDD playing on the Spectre. We have Razor in the hands of Air. Looks like he'll be in the mid lane. We'll see Injuly playing the Batrider, and then finally that leaves, who have I forgotten? The Nyx Assassin, Sanking being played by Dreamy U on support.
And on the
Steady
Radiant
now.
side, we have
30 seconds until we are tested by combat.
on the off lane, and towards the middle lane, we have Mushi. Well, he actually started with boots on a solo mid SF. Okay.
Against Razor.
Oh yeah, against a Razor. MMY will be handling the Venomancer. Lamb will be on the Naga Siren, and lastly we have the stand-in Black playing the Mirana.
Okay. This is going to be an annoying lane for Mushi, at least for the first couple of creep waves against the static link, and yeah, that's where he has gone for the boot.
Let me ask you, would you have preferred to go for Shadow Race at level 1 as SF against a Razor?
Well, the main thing you need to get souls is the problem. Like, are you gonna actually just use your Shadow Rays level 1 to get last hits? Do you think?
Yeah. But usually I think people do that if they are going for the quick bottle. Maybe the boots one is not so suitable.
Like you get a couple last hits, but a couple last hits early don't really... You're not getting souls for those last hits, so it's not really worth it. Once he hits level 2, I imagine he'll start maybe using the razors a bit freely. But we can see he won the block, so this block basically means he can actually get some last hits. He gets the first last hit. Yeah. And Venomancer's going to babysit him for the first wave or two.
I think it's really important for the Venom to be here to make sure that the first 2 waves, most of the teams, like when they run SF, they make sure the first 2 wave of creeps that the SF is protected either by one support standing in the lane or just someone just often missing off the map, so the enemy solo makes pressure.
Nice. Gets the carapace off. He's going to be okay with harass, but Mushi pretty much hit every last hit in that first creep wave, or at least 80% of it, including getting 3 denies, 3 last hit.
The denies is also really crucial.
He's got 6 souls, so he's actually, at this point, Veno can almost just leave him alone. He's going to lose a lot of his damage here, but he's still got... It's one of those things where while the static links, while you've lost your damage, maybe you don't get last hits, but as soon as it wears off, you can last hit okay, and while you've lost your damage, you just use your razors to farm.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So all in all, it's still an okay matchup as soon as the SF gets his soul. It's gonna be quite alright for him. Top lane, they're going on exercise.
Attempted kill. Ice does have the carapace up level 1. He's going to hit level 2 in a second, but he needs a last hit for this one. MMY rotates. He's going to Gale in a second. He could hit 3 with this. Only catches 2. Ice. He can't get the experience he needs to hit level 2, but doesn't look like it's going to matter. He's just popping his tangos now, and MMY's here if he wants to pull in some more. Although, well, he's got the cooldown on those. So Ice, Poor Man's Shield already picked up, as well as a magic stick. The fast Poor Man's Shield just blocks so much damage.
Yeah, the Poor Man's Shield was the deciding factor, the reason why he survived. Not to mention the Venom that rotated in to save him.
Oh, Batrod actually getting pushed out of this bottom lane, finds an Illusion Rune, and Quick Naga Siren just destroys those with one Riptide. And it looks like MMY is just going to stay top, pressure this Spectre Wisp lane.
Yeah, they can do a lot of harassment. If you look at the lanes of DT, they have 2 melee heroes and a Wisp. And the nuke damage isn't that great because you have Spectre, which doesn't do too much damage at the early phase. So the lane is actually it's very hard to deal with a Nyx and a Venom dual lane. The dual lane will be able to at least stop some of the Spectre farm.
I feel like they almost can just straight up win this lane with the damage output of Wisp tanking Spectre being so lacking, for lack of a better.
I feel they
with the Poor Man's Shield,
I feel they might have to still play a bit safe. Like the Venom can still die to the dagger and the Sanking Barrow Strike and the Tether. It's still possible for them to kill the Venom, but the Nyx is a much harder target with the Poor Man's Shield.
Yeah, and he just kind of sits behind, has Venom sitting behind him. So Ice. Ooh, gonna see a bit of a just harass coming out. Bit annoying, but XCD has gone for the 1 point in the Desolate, so going for a more aggressive build here, not worrying about the dispersion just yet.
Yeah, we were talking about the lack of damage, and getting the Desolate early certainly helps in that department.
Well, assuming there's no other targets nearby, and with a dual lane here, you may not actually get that Desolate damage too often.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it's actually a pretty okay radius, 300, unless they're really standing close to each other.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Decent damage. The Gale not going to actually land here. He misses the Gale. Didn't take here. Now MMY
casualty of the conflict.
pops a magic tick. First blood goes away with Dreamtime. Ice just not able to do too much to help him out there. Pops Tango and a mistake. Yeah, DK spot there. Impale going to go on XDD. Not really expecting a kill here. Ice. Just trying to get some good harass. But yeah, uncharacteristic of MMY missing a Gale there.
It looks like they're going after Dire's middle tower.
It's gonna give the Spectre the face boot, so this is just gonna help his last hits so much.
Yep, last hits as well as help zone out Ice from this lane with the face boot. He can actually have a much better job of killing Ice at top.
Yeah, I think this lane right now is they can have a really good chance to kill off the next time they try with the face boots, but they need to send some regen to the Spectre first.
This won't be pretty. They've reached Dire's top tower.
Another thing, when we're struggling to lane against the Razor, he just falls back to the jungle.
Someone is disconnected from the game.
The Razors later on.
It's a shame, really. They had such potential.
He will be more or less on par for farm with Razor. Right now, he's traded 19 CS for 19 CS, but once he goes and farms his stacks later on, he'll be more farm than this Razor. So I think Mushi is doing just fine against this Razor.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having a Radiant side Shadowfiend. But the other day when DK ran the Dire side Shadowfiend, they did the same thing. Top lane, Ice. In trouble. Carapace. Oh, yeah, he right came. Oh, that was a costly mistake. That was
they're not going to catch up too under the tower as well. Super taking a bit of the tower damage. They've managed to split this one up pretty well. Dreaming you still getting low. Pops a Sandstorm as well.
Oh, that was a really costly mistake. He accidentally ran the Carapace and he was level 2 Carapace, so the stun was actually really long.
Nice. Maybe fortunate to still be alive here at the top lane. XDD though with phase boot throws a dagger out. Still just continue to wrap. Meanwhile DK pushing the bot lane. We haven't actually looked too much at this lane yet. Black on the farming Mirage, 34 CS. Has phase boot now, so he's actually... I mean, the Spectre got the first slot. That's where his fast phase boots come in. But Black, he's pretty much on par. More CS than the Spectre, but the first blood orb just helping that Spectre out a decent amount.
Yeah, he's gonna be... I feel like he's gonna be much stronger than the Spectre when he roams around with it. If he doesn't go for a Midas, that's the thing. If he goes for the Midas, then I wouldn't say he's actually much more stronger than the Spectre.
It's like, it reminds me a lot of the way of how like Sing Sing plays Mirana. He'll often get a safe lane farm, but as soon as he gets like level 7, level 8, he'll go help his team. He'll have like phase drum. Like phase drum, you've got a decent
always
stats,
does
movement
the
speed.
same item build. He goes for Aquila and drums. He doesn't go Magic Wand, and he doesn't go Midas, even in the safe lane.
Yeah. It's one of those things, so like when you go for these small items like Aquila, Magic Wand, drums, you'll fill up your inventory slots really fast. So it's interesting that Sing doesn't actually get Magic Wand. Like he never gets Magic Wand on his Mirana.
You won't have slot because like you will want 2 slots for Aquila and drums, and the other one will be the bottle. You need a regen.
You need your TP.
Yeah.
And you want to go for your big item, so.
Yeah, that's why. Here comes the Bat Rider. Doesn't have his blink yet, but they know that Mushi's jungling. Yeah, they know Mushi's jungling.
They're still with the Firefly. They can kill Mushi and steal them.
Oh no.
Oh my. Huge pick up for Dreamtime. They'll kill off Mushi. They'll get the stack. Mushi goes down. Bat Rider gets a kill.
That's
a lot of damage.
Shadowfiend.
Oh, Bat Rider goes down to the neutrals. The Centaur stop was there. Vector meanwhile getting a kill. Nexus has some under the tower. Very shad Shadowfiend, but at the same time, luckily for DK, the Bat Rider died.
I would actually think that the Bat Rider is as sad as the Shadowfiend. He actually could have just at that moment have his blink dagger.
But the Centaur Stomp came in. The Centaur Stomp completely screwed him up. But he's still got 1900 gold as an off-lane Bat Rider 8 minutes into the game. That was still a lot of fun.
Top lane, ISSI setting up a gank with his Vendetta.
Okay, Vendetta, Impale, XDD. In trouble, he needs a couple more actually. Played. That's a solo kill as well. Like, there was a TPM from MMY, but he wasn't even needed for that one.
Well, okay, that's a lot of experience for the Nyx. He's almost level 8 after that, and that's a really huge blow for the Spectre.
Those are the kind of kills, like, against a team like DK you can't afford to do. Like, until that, Dreamtime, I would say we're doing really well. Shutting down the SF stack, getting a fast blink on Bat Rider by the looks of things, but that kill there really set them back a lot.
They've reached Dire's top tower.
I just noticed that how poor this Spectre is. He has like 36 last hits only at 8 minutes.
It's the first blood is kind of keeping him in because that's got him a lot of his gold right now.
Dire has wisely decided to not
without that kill,
he lost the tower. Like to a Nyx offlane Nyx just took a tower at 8 minutes in.
Yeah. That's
he
really
didn't take it himself. It was from like mostly from the pulls and stuff where the tower just got chipped away at first. Such an early tower to lose.
Now the Spectre is like always afraid. There's Moonlight Shadow, there's Vendetta, and there's no tower.
Yeah, and he doesn't have tower backup, so no TPs from his team. At this point, they have to try drag this wave back to a more neutral position around like this tier 2 or something. He cannot really farm safely here.
I have to agree with you. I think they need to pull the wave back towards deeper side into the jungle, so the Spectre is nearer to the tier 2.
And the other 4 heroes, I feel, need to try create space. They need to go around the map looking for kill. Look for Mushi like they just did. They've got the blink on the Bat Rider. They're going to go for a smoke here. We haven't really seen Razor too active on the map. He is going for a mech build, but picked up the treads first then.
I think his job at the moment is just to make sure the wave, all the creep waves, especially in the middle one, is pushed out so his team can gank. But you're going to go... Mushi is actually all the way to top. He's not in the jungle this time.
They're going to find another pick up those MMY, and they've given the Venomance a free reign over mid lane, but he's going to go down. XTD even coming in for the kill. Something which DK likes to do a lot with the Venomancer is like once you hit this point of the game, your SF kind of, or your Meteor leaves the lane, gives the Venomancer the lane to just passively farm with the Plague Wards, but he gets punished for it this time around with a smoke wraparound gank.
Yeah, it was like a lot of teams have been doing this as well. Oh, I think he's gonna find a solo kill again here on the base. That's a lot of experience for him yet again. He's almost level 9. Arcane Boot, he's not particularly super rich, but yeah, he's doing alright in the experience department, very high level.
Well, Arcane Boot's 1k gold for an offlaner against a tri-lane. It's pretty rich in.
Yeah, actually he's almost similar to the Bat. The Bat has 64 last hits, but not as much kills.
Yep. Well, the Bat's really farmed as well. Like, I would say both offlane heroes got a ton of farm and a ton of experience. Like, your Bat Rider had a 9-minute blink as an offlane Bat. That's pretty good. I mean, sure, he went to the jungle, killed some stacks, and managed to find the SF, but that was definitely much faster blink than he would normally.
Yeah, he was up against Dorian, Mirana, and Naga, so he was able to get some last hits early on in the lanes as well. That was the reason, because the Venom was at top.
Dial's bottom tower is under siege.
Dreamtime managed to deny another tower. I think they've denied 2 of the 3 towers so far.
This is looking really hard for them, like with the towers all down, Moonlight Shadow and Vendetta.
Radiant's top tower has been attacked.
You need sentries everywhere.
They need sentries, they need this mech as well. Got the Buckler Hedgers for the time being. They're gonna go for another smoke, I like this. Got Lesso once again with the Blink Dagger on the Bat Rider. They're just looking to get kills every time Mushi.
They need to get Mushi when he goes into the jungle.
Mushi races, they know he's going to the, there's no jungle camp.
Oh no.
Is he gonna walk into them?
I think he's gonna wait for the camp to respawn.
He sees them. Oh no! Lasso in July! He didn't get the lasso! Flame break back, it's not going to be enough just yet. He's diving this. The TPs are coming in. I don't know about this one, Bat Rider. Get out of there. He goes to the high ground. He's getting raised. Taking a lot of damage. He will be okay, but...
that 150 range.
Oh man. Not quite on the mark. It looks like I heard an arrow go flying. Yeah, arrow going to go flying through the bottom river. Not going to matter too much.
Oh, that was like a so important kill for them to get. That was a really costly mistake by the Bat Rider.
What do you think Mushi's getting? He's picked up an ultimate orb. Is this Manta or is this Lincoln? Or even Skadi?
I don't think he will go Link. I don't think he'll go Lincolns. It's tank. He wants to go tanking item against. I know he'll go Manta, Skadi along those lines. Like you just want to have a lot of HP so you survive the initial burst from the lasso, and the Mirana has all the time in the world to deal damage when they are focusing the Shadow Fiend.
Okay. Speaking of ulti-orbs, Black picked one up as well on his Mirana.
Huh, his one might mean a Lincoln's.
Yes. His is more likely a Lincoln's, I'd say. Normally for the Lincolns, you generally get the Perseverance first, just for the regen, but I guess he hasn't really needed it in the safe lane at all.
Yeah, he doesn't really need it, and the stats help him survive more against the Bat Rider too. SLTV
is invisible up here, but he's going to get scattered about by the sentry ward as soon as there's actual observer vision. Arrow goes flying, and this T2 tower is dead. I don't think Dreamtime can do anything about this. I'll clear the way a little bit of the plasma field, look for Deny, not going to get it.
Bottom tower is simply no
more. We could hear.
Oh, here comes the sleep.
Requiem.
Sleep Requiem.
Here we go, Ed's in all sorts of trouble. Oh, this is the timing. Oh, Lamb, that is uncharacteristic. There's a relocate out, but they didn't even need that relocate. Oh, XCD going to haunt himself into this bottom lane, but with the Moonlight Shadow, it looks like there's a lack of protection now. The one Centaur is already planned. The arrow going to go flying and super relocates back in a perfectly timed arrow. There's a blink in from the Bat Rider. He hasn't got a full stop, and he's taking a lot of damage. Leap from Black. They'll bring down the Bat Rider. Big mistake from him. Epicenter. Burrow strike coming out from the Sand King. Not doing a whole lot of damage. Ice gets low, but the Carapace stuns the Sand King, brings him down, and 3 for nothing at the bottom lane.
Oh, arrow.
Knocked the land. Mushi's got a really raised, but that's not actually hit. To actually have the arrow land, it looks like, but DK, that's a big fight for them. That arrow from Black after the relocate, that was good.
The arrow salvaged the initial mistake.
Yeah. Lamb with a slight miss time there.
Maybe he was like, I think he was waiting for SLTV to get nearer. He was like, because SLTV was a bit far, but Mushi is like, no, we just kill this guy, the Razor, first with my Requiem. Yeah.
They wouldn't have actually killed him because of the relocate though, but I mean, you don't know the relocate's coming, I guess. Like you think
maybe that's why he was waiting for, he wanted SLTV to go in and impale because he was a bit far off behind, but Mushi instead wants to start the fight.
SLTV has a blink dagger now. He's just coming top with a blink, impale, mana burn, harassing XCD.
Oh, he might actually die for that.
Yeah. He's got Vendetta. Have they got detection?
They have sentries.
Well, the sentry's going to be enough for this one.
Yeah,
they just run up.
They need to hit him to land the dagger.
Size. Carapace going to sound multiple heroes here. Throws Impale, only catches one. That's the biggest.
What?
Yeah, does.
He was like, he could have, he needed like 0.5 of a second. I didn't think it would
It
have
looks
been
like
that
they're
close.
going after Dire's middle
The
tower.
TP.
Yeah, he almost survived.
That level 4 Carapace, long stun duration. Meanwhile, the rest of his team are pushing a tier 2 mid
Radiant's
though.
top tower is under attack.
That's a bit of concern.
It will be
They're
harder to
tier 2
remove
mid for a
Radiant
tier 1 top.
structures now that they
Still
are
a nice kill to
fortified.
get him at
Radiant's
next
top
time,
tower
because
has been attacked.
level 10.
Dire's
Let's
middle
get out the
tower is
beast
under
that's down
it's
here.
beyond
He's a lot of
comprehension.
experience. He's worth a lot of
Dire's
experience.
middle
Even the
tower
bat
is
is like,
gone.
you
Just
were talking
Radiant's
about how
top
fun
tower
the
is
bat
under
is. It's
attack.
just like almost level 9 now. It's not even
Radiant's
level
top
10.
tower has fallen.
Yeah, he's fallen
Dire's
behind a
bottom
bit
tower is
recently
under
with
attack.
the last whole blink engagement's completely failing. So
Yeah, the one on the on the Shadowfiend Mushi, that one was a really
Radiant's top
really
tower has
classy
been
one.
attacked.
well, we do see a Lincoln's coming for black. Has the perseverance up. Still needs the recipe. It looks like, but
Yeah, Mushi's going for a Manta.
yeah, Yasha ulti ult, so he's got his Manta soon. And they're winning these fights without even their many items picked up. The one item they had, well, they didn't even really have the blink dagger at bottom lane. I don't think. Like they had none of these key items up when they were fighting. We'll probably see a man coming on the Venom
I don't
answer.
remember him having his blink at the bottom fight too.
Venom's got 800 gold, so he can get a mech or maybe a 4-staff, depending what he wants to go for, fairly soon.
Yeah, both would be really good items on him. They're going to go for the Roshan right away with the TD.
I could have hit
Arrow
your
goes flying
shot
into
with
black
my
and
eyes closed.
Dreamtime, they're not really responding to this. I don't know if they actually know what's going on right now. Ice will do a little loop around in Vendetta to scout this out, and he sees no one, so he's like, okay, bridge is safe, take it, guys. Dreamtime not going to contest this. I don't even think they realize they're DK
He's just in. Radiant slays
Oh, I should have
Roshan.
tried to go in. That misses
Details
the kill there.
unnecessary.
Did get sunned up, but leap in, arrow, shouldn't land on anyone and won't.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
DK, there's one outer tower remaining for them to take at the top lane. But they also kind of need to push out this top lane, so we may see them go back and farm, but it's almost getting to a point where they can just, yeah, they're drawing lines on the mini-map to go top, but it's getting to a point where they can almost think about pushing high ground.
Sanking has a blink already, so the high ground push could be really, could still be in favor of DT Club if they can get. It's still difficult, but I think they have a chance.
It's a level 1 epicenter.
they have
The
a
main
chance.
problem is the main problem is a blink burrow strike more than the epicenter. Like a burrow strike catching out 3-4 heroes and doing big damage, but the epicenter is still nice, especially considering there's no mech on DK's side, and Venom's going for a Veil of Discord.
Yeah, with the Shadowfiend Requiem of Souls, huh.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Like it amplifies a lot of their damage. Shadowfiend,
Yeah,
This
not,
is
not to
damage.
mention, you
Mirana
set it up
even.
with the Song of the Siren, and then you drop the Veil, and you drop the Requiem. Huh.
It's actually a kind of cool pickup, just because so much of their damage output is magic. Mirana and Shadowfiend, sure they're right-click heroes, but they're also got some good, powerful nukes as well. And at this point in the game, a Mirana with a Lincoln Sphere is doing more nuke damage than right-click damage.
Yeah, she's actually a type of carry that deals a lot of spell damage first before later stage transitioning into a physical DPS. It's very similar to Shadowfiend. They're both very similar carries in that sense.
Mirana not the most impressive kind of physical damage carrier though.
Yeah, true. Not like Shadowfiend, but if you get enough items on her, the lead attack speed actually sort of helps you with that later on.
Yep.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yu, he's positioned in these trees. He wants to try and defend this tier 2 tower if a push comes. Problem is Mushi's got an Aegis.
This feels like a net position.
Yeah, net one of those Sanking players who's always somewhere where he never gets found and gets off a big engagement with a blink dagger.
Yeah, this is actually a
Not
really
gonna
good
get scouted,
position
I
for
think.
him.
Yeah,
If
he
they
got there
try to
so
push-
early that
if they try to push, he's gonna be set up really well for this.
they actually got the damage. Not to mention Black has an Aegis. Black's going to be on the front line.
Shadowfiend
Sorry,
has Aegis.
Mushi has Mushi has the Aegis. Mushi's going to be on the front line, just right-clicking out. Black actually joins him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Eyes on Dreamy U in the corner here. Not going for this one. I think they realized
Dire's
even
top tower is
with
forward.
the Sanking there, they couldn't really defend it.
Unless he manages to
No.
like Burrow Strike, like the almost like 3 heroes or 4 heroes at least.
Yeah.
Even like the level 1 epicenter, like you said, doesn't really do too much damage to them.
If it was level 11, sure, he would go for that one maybe, but he's not close to level 11.
Yeah, and DK's gonna force the high ground.
They're waiting for the Radiance as well. Spectre has gone for a Relic. Phase Bracer, Radiance, oh, air. Caught out under the
That
tower.
was a really good play by Isis. Carapace, the plasma field, and just follow up with Impale. That's no chance.
Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe a bit of a misclick there with that smoke.
It seems
For
Dire
what they
has
were
chosen to
thinking there,
strengthen their structures.
a background
This
smoke,
won't
yeah,
be
I'd say
pretty.
just
They've
use it,
reached
maybe they didn't
Dire's
stop
top
in a good
tower.
position.
They made
Mushi.
a beeline for Radiant's bottom tower.
Okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He was waiting for a creep wave, I guess. Oh, he did nice force up. He dodges the last step out when he gets hit by a Carapace. Everything that comes in, but it's not really doing. Oh, it's doing a ton of damage. Actually, DK just melt. They lose 4. They lose the Aegis. Make it 5. Mushi gonna respawn. He may just straight up die here. The Spectre suddenly coming in with the
Domination
Whisper.
times is showing their fishy. They've reached
They
Dire's
lost
top
their
tower.
whole team. Did he buy that?
Yeah, he pulled back. What just happened? Like, I saw the fight in front of my own eyes, but I just can't believe that DK don't have a mech. That to me is what happened there. Like, not having a mech, trying to push high ground against a Sank with a blink, and just general AO, and even like against Spectre, you need to have like a mech.
He
Oh,
could
your
have, he
famous
could
pipe.
have had the mech, but
They've
he
made a
chose to
beeline
go
for
the
Radiant's
deal.
bottom tower.
They have enough out. Like, DK aren't lacking damage out, they're lacking survivability.
That gave the Spectre the Radiance.
That was a disaster. Like,
That was-
they got that was with Batrider not using lasso. Batrider
And that was
tried
with
to
Aegis too. That was with Aegis too.
Yeah, they did a really nice force stuff. Who actually has the force? Actually, from DP.
He tried to force because he had the Lincolns on him before that. He tried to break the Lincolns,
Oh.
but then when he forced up on him, the Lincolns actually
Okay, it was already
expired.
broken. I was about
Yeah,
to say, like,
that's-
he forced up from him so that he couldn't actually lasso him. I was like, wait, how did that happen?
Yeah, he was actually trying to break the Lincoln's buff on him before that. That was just unfortunate. That the buff ran up as soon as he went in.
Well, that's the cause for concern for DK. Looking at a gold graph, what was once an 8k gold lead is more like a 5k gold lead now.
It's actually not as significant already now since the Radiance is up. That's a very, very big item in the Spectre.
Yeah, well, that'll accelerate his farm. Not just Radiance, he got 1k gold, so he can
Yeah,
pick up like a
he-
Vitality booster to tank up or...
You can win a team fight with a Radiance and Spectre, like even if you're 5k behind.
Yeah.
That's how powerful it is.
DK will probably look at this and think, okay, we need to farm a few more items.
We just made the game is tough suddenly.
Yeah. They've picked up, Ice picked up a Headrest. It looks like he's going mech. I think he can realize not having a mech and trying to push high ground there was probably one of the more stupid things they've done in a Dota game last year.
They were just overconfident. Like Mushi was standing on the tree.
Mushi dead. Oh, there is going to be a Spectral Epicenter as well. Everything's just being used to try and blow up Mushi. The Wisp going to tether himself in as well. Give that extra bit of movement speed. Ice so far has done a good job of keeping Mushi alive. The Carapace being used. Mushi taking a lot of damage. The Burrow Strike will finish him off. And now Ice he may go down as well. He's done so. He will be brought down. 2 more kills to Dreamtime.
This is looking really bad
Oh.
already for them.
At this point, I would say we're on even terms. Maybe even slightly Dreamtime favored.
I think it's already in favor of Dreamtime. If you
Yeah.
go even on a Mirana against a Spectre and a Mirage Shadow against a Spectre, even, you don't have an advantage. The Spectre is much stronger than you.
It's still getting quite out farmed. Like looking at the net worth there, Mirana, SF leading the way. SF those sort of specs catching up, but then you look at the supports of the Dire side, like Sand King, Wisp, both very poor, whereas you've got Veno and Naga, both with decent amounts of farm, but
The thing is, like those
It's a-
two supports, even if with a lot of farm, the one button from the Spectre, you're still gonna run. Unless you manage to get a BKB, like that's I think the best solution for the support to be able to do something in a fight against the Spectre.
well, mentioned at the start of this game, Dreamtime, their hopes of advancing to the StarLadder China playoffs pretty much nothing unless they beat DK and LGD. But right now they're putting up a good fight against DK, so they're not going out with that one
Yeah,
last.
I think they have a really good chance this game after what happened the last 2 minutes.
Your Razor's getting himself decently farmed. He's gonna have a BKB soon, and this Razor haven't really talked about him too much, but he can actually offer a lot in these fights. He's almost guaranteed to stay alive with a BKB, and if he can leech a lot of Mushi's damage or even Black on the Mirana, he's going to be hitting really hard.
Yeah, he needs, I think the easier target to go is the Shadow Fiend, since he'll be trying to cast his Requiem in the fights. So that's the more likely target for him. And
the Requiem won't hurt you. You can just like pop your BKB.
But they still can kill. I still feel they can kill him fairly easily with the Shadow Fiend minus armor and the Desolator, which I think is the item that Black's going for right now.
Yeah. Well. See where Dreamtime look to go next. They've got the gem up of their own on the Batrider. Meanwhile, Venomancer, yeah, he picked the one up as well. So both teams with the gem looking to get some map control, not to mention deal with pesky heroes like the Nyx Assassin, the Mirana Moonlight Shadow. Tanking with its Sandstorm, but standard Dreamtime position. They're actually going for another tower here. All these teams
would look not to defend this. This is
Radiant structures are fortified.
If they lose one more fight, I think the next Roshan will go to Dreamtime and
they've made a beeline for Radiant's bottom tower.
I don't know why DK popped the glyph there, because like you say, there was no way they could defend that. They were out of position. You can't just like 5-man TP on that. So free tower for Dreamtime, and
it seems like they're a bit of team confusion. Maybe like they were talking to Black and then some communications, and they decided in the end pop the glyph, but then they didn't want to go for some reason.
Yeah. Dreamtime, they can just keep on farming now. I mean, Spectre getting another big item. A part of Tarask is going to be up so soon. Spectre with a heart is
3,000.
huge.
He's gonna have his Reaver like soon, and with the heart, like they said, he's gonna be plus the overcharge, close to undieable in the fights.
Oh man, exactly. Like even if you're focusing him, he's gonna be doing so much damage from the dispersion. Like, he's got so much raw HP that even if you're on him, I guess SF does have a BKB now. That'll help him out a little bit, but
yeah, they need the BKBs against all the damage. Actually, Spectre is dealing a lot of spell damage. The Spectre is actually dealing. BKB is a necessary item. The
Mirana Desolator I feel is a good pickup here, but he's going to need a BKB after this. Like if he went Lincoln's BKB, he would have no damage output, but he's going to need a BKB at some point.
It feels like a Weaver. If you start with a Lincoln's BKB, you don't have damage, but if you go Lincoln's Desolator, but on a Weaver, obviously it's much more different than the Mirana. You deal much more damage to the Geminate and the Swarm.
Yeah. Oh. And Spectre just 600 away from that Heart of Tarask. Black does have his Desolator now.
Just hooked up right now. They're gonna look for,
top tower has been attacked.
Who's gonna be? Ice probably is the one dead.
Batrider sees a lot here. There's a Spectre ulti ready to go. Angel Lasso, no Carapace in time. Sleep used immediately though. What's gonna happen from here? Spectre, is he gonna come in? Yeah, he's there. TP's out from DK. They don't want to fight this. Everyone gets out and DK. Don't lose anyone there. They just can't teamfight. And now they give up road.
That was like a really good position for the Naga. The Lamb to just save his team there. If the fight occurred at that area, that particular area, was so advantageous for DT to take.
This Roche is not going to be the fastest Roche. Spectre's damage as well as the Razor is not really the best for bringing down Roche. DK, they're actually smoked up. They want to take this fight. They've got the Mushi with a BKB Requiem. This could be a mistake from Dreamtime. They're going to be a bit careful here. No lasso for 25 seconds. There is no sleep. I don't think the sleep matters too much. It's mostly the lasso which is needed for a fight like this. XDD, he may get focused down. He's completely out of position here. He's in the pit.
Relocate. He got relocate.
Nice save there. Air's on his own though. Air's going to be brought down. Looks like the right click's not quite enough. The Desolator damage as well. The high ground evasion even helping him out. And now you're Batrider. He's got lasso in 5 seconds. Relocate back in from your Wisp Spectre. This is like a second life perspective. He's back to full HP. He's ready to fight again. And both teams trying to just position themselves.
They need to drag it out a little bit, but the Horn is off cooldown in 45 seconds. They just need to wait for the Horn and the fight is theirs.
Yeah. I don't think Dreamtime need the Aegis though. Like going for Roshan just seems unnecessary. Like they want to stop DK from taking it, but I feel like just farming the lanes, getting Spectre's heart at the moment is enough for them.
Yeah, but
now that Roshan's half HP though, it's a lot
trickier. Like you said, they're more worried about DK being able, because like they got a lot of minus armor with the Shadow Fiend and the Desolator, so they can take the Roshan very easily.
Dreamy U positioned on the high ground. He is level 11 now, so we are looking at a level 2 Sand ultimate. That makes a decent difference in these fights, especially if you can catch on the back line. The problem is DK, they're gonna have mech and pipe. ISSI still does not have his mech. He'll have it in.
Does he have the headdress?
200.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He's got headdress. They'll have mech and pipe in about maybe 1k gold for the Naga Siren. Arrow gonna go flying mid. Ooh, giving you careful. But I feel like if they had mech and pipe at the previous push when they went 5-man top and got team wipe, this game could be over. Oh, Blink Impale on air.
Oh, Bat Rider.
Oh, he's found ice again. This time there's no legendaries in Naga Sleep. Not going to be used though. They're going to lose Nyx Assassin. It looks like Naga was in red. And Spectre Epicenter as well from the Sand King. Doing a ton of damage in the back. Lamb may just need to pop his ultimate, but I don't think he can right now. He's not using it. He's just going to straight up die. Lamb goes down as well. DK loses 3.
This is like either the Roche and the tower, tier 1 tower.
I'm afraid Radiant's middle tower is under siege. Radiant's middle tower is no more.
Clawed their way back into this game.
Yeah, it's...
Spectre with a heart. This Spectre is just going to become unkillable, like you said. He's got the Wisp overcharge and also the Wisp relocate. If he's getting focused, you relocate him home, and then he heals up, you come fight again.
Yeah, and he can either have the option to haunt back in as well immediately if he wants to.
Yeah. You don't have to even wait the full 10 seconds then.
I don't think he needs the Aegis though. He might just give the Aegis to the Razor since the Razor is like the frontline tank, right?
That Rider wouldn't be too bad.
I think
Look,
Razor would be a better option.
Oh, Mushi. I got Wreck him as well. Barrett actually blinked up and scouted him out. Sanking going to stun him as well. Mushi pops BKB afterwards. It's a bit too like Mirana brings down the wrist. Nice again from DK so far. Ice is going to take a fall. Black still trying to bring on the Barrett. Will do so. Gem hits the deck. Immediately picked up by Sanking. The Lincoln procs blocking the Burrow Strike. Razor's chasing down Black. Does he actually have the ability to do this? XTD.
Team killing spree.
He's going to die here. Killing spree for Aaron. Back to Roshan they go maybe. DK just can't take fights. They don't even come close to dealing with this Spectre. At best they kill like some of the squishier heroes like your Bat Rider, your Sand King, maybe your Wisp.
They're gonna give the Aegis. So yeah, they can only kill the weak support.
Roshan's death comes at the hands of the dire.
I guess why not?
Yeah, it's why not, but I just don't feel like he's gonna be in any danger of dying.
What do you think he goes next? Like, just the standard Manta style, or...?
Yeah, Manta or Diffuser will be really cool on him.
The movement speed helps a lot, because if you want to get really aggressive and just going on DK, having the Manta movement speed or just the Yasha movement speed does help a decent amount. I think it's got the Wisp.
But I feel like the Diffuser will offer him much more aggressive options, like you can chase down this perch and just kill additional targets. The movement speed is nice, but Diffuser will give you more chances of securing kills if you're chasing down the target. Not to mention your heart will hurt more with the Diffuser.
Yeah. Just going to be farming and pushing out this top lane. The rest of the team can go looking for kills because he can always hold himself in there. And something we haven't seen too much of this game, but we mentioned it during the draft, like, you can have Spectre, Haunt, and the Wisp relocate +1 hero anywhere on the map. So DT are very global here, which is where Bat Rider can just roam around by his lone himself. We are seeing Wisp with him now, but he has the potential for a lot of backup.
He doesn't feel alone if he's walking alone like this.
Yeah.
He just like feels like he has a ton of backup, and not to mention they can always do the epicenter plus the relocate in if they need to do it when the Bat Rider is hunting someone. It's just like an instant death, even if he picks off the Mirana or the Shadowfiend. It's relocate, lasso into relocate, and epicenter is just he's dead for sure.
They're surely not going for this.
Can they even kill top?
No. Wisp will relocate in. This is... yeah, there's no way they can kill top. Wisp will relocate with 1 hero and they'll just all die.
Yeah, and the Haunt will go and they'll just...
Yeah, that was definitely not a fight that...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The 4 heroes are grouping up now, knowing the Spectre can actually just come to bottom in a moment. This is just the mobility they have. Firefly, Bat Rider, and the
Radiant's bottom tower.
Trying to find pickoffs here, Bat Rider scouting things out, and this is going to be a straight up free tower. Easy pickings though there with the Aghanim Scepter, which helps his ulti hit towers coming into play. And DK, DK took all these outer towers by like 20 minutes in the game, and suddenly they've hit a roadblock, and that roadblock is this fat Spectre.
They more like they invite the Spectre to become the roadblock after that fight at top.
Yeah, if there's very rarely you can look at a game and say, like, pinpoint the exact, like, well, you can often say one moment was like the changing point, but that was a blatantly obvious catastrophe.
Oh, and then
MMY goes down. Not looking good. Actually, Super may take a fall here.
Oh, he
he's
needs to
gonna
relocate. Oh wow.
That Ice Impel was just a half a second too late. Definitely needed to relocate.
That was really, really close, and very good awareness by the Wiz to know that there was a mix coming in.
I don't know what DK did here. Spectre's got a man for now.
They can't fight. They can't fight the Spectre. The Spectre, when the Spectre has more net worth than your Shadowfin and your Miana. Good luck.
The Spectre is God at this point. Well, we'll look at Moody picking up a Daedalus in 400 gold, but if they isolate Spectre, they can kill him, sure, but he's not going to be isolated. Even if he's farming on his own, you have the Wisp +1 backup. In teamfights, you've got under crowd control. We can see Blackly engaged on great click from the back rider. He broke the Lincolns, then used the lasso.
Oh,
Runner goes down. Yeah.
Oh dear, are they going to try reclaim this?
I don't know if they want to do this correctly. Strong pass into the long damage. They will bring down the Wisp here, but in comes your Spectre. How do you actually stop the Spectre? No buyback from the Marana, and without that, they can't really fight. They're going to lose Moochie, they'll lose MMY as well. And with this team fight lost, this could be it for DK. They lose 4. Nagasaran, the only one left standing. Tier 2 should go down. XTD still ages. Song West, the only heroes that can kill are those squishy supports, and GG is called. MMY taps out. DK have been upset by the upcoming Dreamtime. George, you could point to Black standing in for burning here, but end of the day, Dreamtime just played really well. DK threw away a huge lead.
I wouldn't say like they started out really well. Like at the start of the game, Dreamtime had some hiccups, but yeah, later part they played really well.